welcome to the Harlot in which podcast. Yes. I am your host, the Harlot, and with me I have my other host.
The witch. Didn't
Yeah,
say your
yeah,
name
we
ain't no
switched it
fun.
up, y'all. Now I'm the Harlot. She's the witch. You got to switch it up sometimes.
You're the real
So
harlot in the streets.
that's you all day. So
Uh,
we welcome you today to join us in this beautiful podcast where we will converse one with another, sharing both opinions and facts sprinkled in here and there, and altogether just allow you to drift away from the regular issues of your regular day. So
mhm.
t- today's topic is going to be:
Mind me driving.
do you prefer talking on the phone or texting?
Start us off. Or you want me to
I
start it off?
prefer texting 99.99999 times out of 100 because besides this witch right here, there is basically
Mm,
nobody else that I'm on the phone with. And it took this
right.
friendship for me to really be on the phone with people. There probably like one or two other people that I'd be on the phone with, but I just don't like carrying on long conversations. Everything that we can say can get accomplished in one or two text messages. Especially because people like to act forgetful. So I love having
Right.
text messages to be like, you remember what you said on this day at this time? Yeah, that's what you said. And you were supposed to do this, and we were
The
supposed to do the
evidence.
third. You keep the evidence with you. And then
That's it.
I have always had the personality, and I was talking to my therapist about this the other day. I have the of being a driver when it comes to communication and
Yep.
conversations, where I will drive the conversation. I will lead it. I will keep it going. Keep having prompts, even in all the jobs that I've worked at. People have been excited for me to come into work for multiple reasons, but for one of the reasons to make it more lively, because it'd be like I always have something to talk about. There's always something to pose because I pay attention. And I understand it's not an easy task for everybody when it comes to that aspect of public speaking. But for me, it's very basic. So when I see like other people aren't very good at that, I would rather just text them because then I could be like, okay, then let me just text you this. And then for the people that don't know how to communicate, that say, oh, I'm not good at texting or I'm not good at whatever X, Y, and Z, I'd be like, well, you better
Hmm.
learn. Learn
That's
quickly
it.
because it's not that hard. We are grown. Most of us grew up with these phones. Like, come on now. And even those of us like in our generation that didn't have phones growing up, but then we got them like middle school time, like come on now. If we're too old now to not know how to communicate using these cell phones. So I prefer to text everybody else. But with this harlot, it's just more convenient for us to call each other because we'll
Right.
get everything we need to say through the phone call. What about you? Which?
I agree to an extent. And the reason why I say that is because for me, I like to call people in categories. So we have the close friends, which is you, and that's it. Like I only talk to you. I talk to maybe like one other friend on the phone, and I'm okay with that to a certain extent. If the phone is like the conversation is dry,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh okay, well I'm gonna call you later. I'm busy, like because like the, for me, awkward silence is like, oh okay, you're gonna be just on the phone, just like for what?
Right.
Like I want it to be driven continuously, talking about stuff like how you and I are.
Right.
Um, but I understand I can't have that same expectation for everybody else. So
Right.
I'm like, all right, just text me. I'll call you later. For my mom, I talk to her pretty much every day, so I'm fine with talking to her. She just vents, so I just listen. Sometimes I get annoyed, I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta call you later. I'm like, break up stuff. But everyone else, I don't like talking to on the phone. I'd rather text because it's like, what are we gonna talk about? And a lot of the times, it's like you're just telling me your life story in repeat. I'm like, oh,
Mm.
okay, that's cool. All right, okay. And it comes to a point where it's like, how many okays I gotta say for you to like I'm cool with listening to people. I'm very observant when it comes to that type of conversation and in person.
Right.
And I don't mind meeting you in person. We could talk whatever, cool. But when it comes to being on the phone and I got things to do and you're just like, oh no, and I'll take my phone to cook and stuff like that, that's fine.
Mm.
But when I get annoyed or like I'm having too much stimulation, excuse me, sir, thank you. Too much stimulation from you just talking, and the thing is, when I'm on the phone, it has to be of substance.
Mm.
If you're talking to me about some nonsense or it's
Mm.
not tea, I'm like, all right, All right.
She loves the tea,
Like,
y'all. She loves the tea.
gotta love the tea. Gotta love the tea. But that's how I am. Like, if it's not of substance, like you can talk about anything political, anything dealing with real estate, anything dealing with aviation,
Mm-hmm.
anything of substance that pertains to my life, but also pertains to society
Mm-hmm.
and things that affect us.
Right.
I'm all for it. I can listen to you for hours talking. But if it's like, oh, my man did this and my man did that, or my girl did this, okay, I'll listen for a little bit. Then
Mm-hmm.
after, okay, hey, what are you doing? All right, let's go out. Like at that point, like let's go out. Let's get distracted a little bit.
Right.
Let's also see what's on your mind. But to
Right.
be having a conversation of no substance, of like, oh, like it could be literally something just dumb. Like, oh, I was driving and something happened. Okay, a little bit of tea. Then you just start going off on a tangent about I can't even think of a topic right now, but it's just like as if you're talking about, oh, this type of cloud is gray and this is blue. I don't want to hear that. Like, stop. So I text you. I text you all day long. You can text
Mm-hmm.
me. If you text back quick, that's cool.
Right.
But don't expect it from me.
Right.
Because for me, I'll see your text and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll remember. Then an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours go by. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. And it's not on purpose. Like I see
Right.
it, but I don't want to respond instantly to make it seem as if I'm I feel like it seems as if I'm like desperate
Mm-hmm.
to text you back, or like I got time and we can text back and forth when I'm like kind of busy. Lately, my life has been very career driven to what
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing. So these past 3 months, I've just been busy on that. And I can't be texting people like that. But
Cool.
I'm more so of a texter.
So, what is texting etiquette for you?
There's no set etiquette. You can talk about whatever you want, however you want, but don't expect me to be like I'm not a big cursor, if
Mm-hmm.
at all. But if you're like constantly cursing, all right, cool. But don't expect me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like what you like the time you messaging me, if we're close, like you and I, you can text me at 2 in the morning.
Right.
If you're expecting a response, I don't know about that one because I may be asleep. But if I'm up, all right, cool. You can text me whatever time.
Right.
As far as anybody else that I'm not as close with, don't text me after 11 o'clock, and
Mm.
don't text me first thing in the morning at like 6, 7 o'clock. Cause no,
That part.
unless it's something like I said, tea or substance that happened on the news or whatever. All right, cool.
Right. An
But
emergency.
if you
Yeah.
think that like, yeah, in an emergency too, yeah, for sure. Because then of course I'll come to your running aid for the most part as best as I can. But if you think that, oh, I'm gonna call you at 1 in the morning and I'm gonna vent to you, or I'm gonna talk to you, or I'm just gonna tell you about my day, I won't pick up. I won't pick up. Even if I hear the call, I'm like, who is that calling me? Oh, decline,
Mm-hmm.
decline. That's what I was saying. Etiquette is knowing when to call and who to
Mm-hmm.
call.
That's
Because
it.
the only person I'd ever pick up for at that type of time in the morning would be like my siblings, my mom, my dad, and you.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? What would be your texting etiquette?
I think my texting etiquette is just kind of similar. Do not expect a response after 11 p.m. Like you're gonna wait till the next day and me to get that response. Unless I just happen to be up around that time or something, do not expect a response. Also, if if there's a consistency for you to respond way after I have texted you, then
Oh,
9 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna cease communicating with you because I
that's it.
hate that so much. And I have times of like somebody text me and then I forget. And
Yeah.
then like, but I'll go back and see it, be like, oh, whatever. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I missed your text or whatever. Or even when somebody calls me, I'll do the same thing. But I hate when people do that because I'm like, you're not that busy. I promise you, you're not that busy. I promise there are times you're on your phone for at least 10 to 15 minutes scrolling through social media
Mm-hmm.
or whatever
Mm-hmm.
your vice is, you're doing that. So for you to sit here and try to pretend that, oh, I'm just so busy and every single minute of every single day is occupied by something, like that is so
Mm-hmm.
annoying to me. So it
Yeah.
kind of
Oh,
makes me
okay.
be like, okay, that's all right.
Busy your way out of my life.
And you better you better be glad I didn't change my number. I used to change my number every year. Like you
Oh,
better be
yes, he
glad you're
did.
in the I sure did. I think I've had
Yes, he did.
6 or 7 numbers. It's gonna get changed again. But so my final thoughts are that I would much prefer to call you and text everybody else. Everybody else just text me.
That's it.
You'll get a faster response, especially because sometimes I just don't even feel like talking. I don't feel like using the effort to speak, get on the phone, use my vocal cords. I'd rather just use my fingers and just get to texting you. What about you?
Yeah, I would say the same. It's just my inner circle is who I'm definitely willing to talk to more on the phone than anything else. And then everybody else get a nice text. And if you annoy me on text, then you'll see a couple hours later I'll text you back.
Mm. And we have our new guest. His name is El Chorro. You got to roll the R.
Oh, he
There he
made
goes.
sure to come in.
So he came into the frame. He wanted to be
Say
in
hi,
frame.
Choro.
Say hi to the people.
Say hi.
Uh-huh.
He don't see the people, but he's looking
Uh-huh.
for them.
That's all right. Because Buttercup was with us a little bit earlier. So now it's
Oh my gosh.
now we
Yeah,
have
you
Churro.
embarrassed me so hard with that one.
Sometimes you gotta that's just
But
part one. There's a part two coming. You just gotta wait.
terrible. But I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I hope that you comment, like, subscribe, and share.
Share.
Don't forget to comment down below what you prefer, whether it's texting or calling, and is it a certain category of people that you prefer to text or call?
Mhm.
And yeah, share this with your friends, family, people you may not know. Give it to strangers. Who cares? Just share it, get it out. Amen.
Amen.